We are starting the second section now, or the third canto of the book of Yoga. We have seen Savitri meeting all the subconscious forces, subconscious beings, vital beings, and she has seen the entire order of the whole subconscious place. She met the giant head of life with all the furious elements which are present in the vital world. Now, in fact, there is always a danger that once you get lost, you get trapped in what he calls the dangerous intermediate zone. There is no way of coming out of it. The dangerous intermediate zone, or what he calls is the valley of wandering gleam. The wandering gleam, you get lost completely here. There is no way out at all. And there is no one who can really help you there. Absolutely impossible. So, you, so to say, get totally lost in that process. But if there is something in you, in us, which can remember the truth which is within us, then it can come forward and give a kind of a protection, can guide you how to move forward. In the earlier case, we have seen that Savitri remembered the Savior name, and it was the Savior name which protected her. And the moment she remembered the Savior name, there was peace, enormous peace all around. Everything had become quiet. When she is meeting now the giant head of life, much stronger, more forceful, more violent, more insurgent than the ordinary subconscious life, then it is still more difficult. But Savitri was carrying within her the image of the truth, as he says, the image, murti of truth, of Satya. It was there, and it is that image which helped her, guided her, and the moment she realized that now all was still, the soil shone dry and pure. Through it all she moved not, plunged not in vain waves. Out of the vastness of the silent self, life's clamor fled. Her spirit was mute and free. So that is the siddhi she got. In spite of the violent opposition of the giant head of life, Savitri is able to master that condition, and she has become now silent and free, mute and free. With that freedom, she can now move forward. It is that freedom which can make her now go forward. And therefore, her next step of journey begins. As I told you, there are almost a dozen steps in the inner countries Savitri is going through. Now she is going to meet life who is organized, who is in an ordered space, as he calls it, brilliant ordered space. Savitri is going to meet life now which is organized. Some kind of an element of mind in life is coming into picture, and it is that which is going to restrain the violent force of life, which is always there. Therefore, then journeying forward to the self's wide hush, Because she is now free, she is journeying forward to the self's wide hush, not life anymore, but self alone, wide hush. Now, this tells us, journeying tells us that it must have been a fairly long journey for her to go from region to region in the inner countries. It is not that quickly she is going through. We are doing the entire canto maybe in 20 minutes, but she is really going through the entire process as a long drawn process of life and sadhana and tapasya. And therefore she is journeying. Of course, that journey in the occult world is a long journey. It takes hours, it takes months, it takes years. It goes on like that. It's a journey, long journey, you see. So we have no idea how long it might have taken for Savitri to come to this point of self's wide hush. Wide hush. She came into a brilliant, ordered space. That is again now of Savitri's new entry into the inner country. There, life dwelt parked in an armed tranquility. So the insurgent spirit, the violent, the revolting spirit of life which was there, it has become calm, quiet. Life is now very docile, as if the beast, the wild beast, has been domesticated and is now under control. Therefore, armed tranquility. A chain was her strong insurgent heart. Somebody has kind of put a chain, leash. She is now held back in her position like that, you see. Chain was on her strong insurgent, the revolting heart, insurgent heart, tamed to the modesty, tamed to the modesty of a measured space. So you calculate, you take deliberate step after step like that, going in a specific order. Tamed to the modesty of a measured space. She kept no more her vehement stride and rush. That is what life was. Life, as I told you last time, I mean, she doesn't bother about the consequences. Whatever that life force wants to do, that it will do. She will do always, you see. There is no control of the light force. Even mind cannot really control. In fact, finally, mind cannot really decide anything in this world. It is the life force which tells you do this or do that. It is the life force which makes mind reason out why he should do this or he should do that. You see, it is prompted by the life force and then mind reasons out why a particular step should be taken, you see. That is why it is modesty. She kept no more her vehement stride and rush. She had lost the careless majesty of her muse. Whatever she thought, whatever she imagined, she could do, but now that thing is gone. She is parked, she is chained, she is held back, you see. And the ample grandeur of regal force. Yes, she is a queen, but now that queen is under control, you see. Curved were her mighty palms, her splendid waist. So she would do whatever she wants. She wouldn't bother about the consequences, as I told you. She wouldn't bother about the expenditure. Money, keep on pouring, you see. I want this, I want that, I want that, I want that. Well, it's there always, you see. Curved were her mighty palms, her splendid waist, sobered the revels of her bacchant play. Well, happy, joyous, as if drunk with wine, she could do whatever she wanted to do, you see, bacchant play. Cut down were her squanderings in desire's bazaar. So you go to the supermarket or message store and buy whatever you wanted, but no, now she cannot. There is something which is restraining her. You cannot keep on doing like that all the while, you see. This jewelry, very precious, let me have it. This gown, let me have it. No, no, no. Something is now holding her back, you see. Coerced her despot will, her fancies dance. A cold stolidity bound the rat of sense, stolidity which is emotionless, which is impassive, which is quiet. It is that impassiveness, stolidity, her right sense, whatever she wants to do, that fancy, that is gone. Now some kind of control over the emotions have come and she has become impassive in that sense. A coast authority bound the right of sense. Her spirit's bounds they cast in rigid lines. Yes, she has to follow now a given line of approach, rigid line. She must go like this, like this, like this. She cannot wander in whatever way she likes now. She has to follow certain rules and regulations in life, rigid lines, principles, ethics, whatever there, she has to follow, she has to accept them and move. Her spirit's bounds, they cast in rigid line. A royalty without freedom was her lot. Yes, she is a princess, she is a queen, but she has no freedom now. See, in fact, this is what happens. A monarch, he is bound by the protocol. He has to follow certain things in a certain manner. He cannot do in whatever way he wants to do. There is a meeting, he has to go in a proper dress there, follow the protocol. He cannot just wear any shirt and any cloth like that and go there. He has to follow and adopt it. So that freedom is gone, you see. That freedom was her lot. The sovereign throne obeyed her ministers. Her fancy, her will, she could not exercise. Her ministers, her senses, her controlling agents, arguments, lies principles, they become her ministers. Her servants' mind and sense govern her house. Now, royalty without freedom was a lot. The sovereign throne obeyed her ministers. Who are these ministers? Who are her servants? Mind and sense. Mind and sense are her servants, her ministers, and she has to obey them now, govern her house, although she is a queen. So whatever the butler says, whatever the officer in charge is of the house, she has to follow that thing, must adopt the protocol. And guarded with a phalanx of armored rules, the reasons balanced the reign, kept order and peace. Now, this is what we have got here, no? She has entered into order space. Who is governing this order? This is what we are here. The order is governed by mind and sense. She has entered into order space, but she has to follow what the mind says, what the senses say. She has to obey them, you see. The reasons balanced and kept order and peace. Well, as long as that balance is maintained, there is peace, you see. Now, there is a problem here in these two sentences. Problem of a different kind. See, if you look at these two sentences, we have understood what the drift of the passage is, that life is governed by mind and sense. That is the whole thrust of the passage. But the question is, in this line, if you read this line alone, Then, to whom does they refer to? They refers to what? They refers to what, you see? If you see it, if you read the whole passage, in the previous sentence, there is no indication that this ray is going to refer something to something here around, you see. See, we cannot pinpoint anything in this previous sentence, 19.1193, for that they. Her spirit is bound, they cast in rigid line. They means who? They remain undefined if you read this line alone. But that becomes clear if you start reading along with this line, this also. In other words, they is made clear by the next sentence. Yes, these they are mind and sense. This is a little unusual. Normally, in the development of any essay or poetic argument, you don't put the pronoun before the description. The description will precede the pronoun normally, you see. So, in that sense, it is a little unusual. So, you have to understand this they in terms of the next sentence. Well, that is how we have the original text. But in the revised edition of Savitri, there is something different. Yeah. In the revised edition, the sequence of lines is different. This is sequence of lines. Yeah, let's read that first. See, now this line in her spirits, etc., no, has come here, her spirits bounds here. It has become the fourth line. This means this line has been shifted to this place before this line. No, in the revised edition I am talking. See, the lines are the same, but the arrangement of lines is different in the 1993 edition of Savitri. And what we have here is the original edition. What I am giving you here, that particular passage, is in the revised edition.
And where is that line?
Her spirit is bound, cast in rigid lines. You see, this line, which was first here in the, you see, the line has been shifted to the next sentence and it has become the fourth line there. We'll see that, sir. Let me first explain. Let me first. Now, I'm giving you the facts first. So, you see, the rest is the same thing. Royalty, sovereigns, servants, these three lines are there in the same order. Then this line, which was earlier, has been shifted here. And then again, guarding and reasons as they are. The sequence of lines is maintained, except that this line has been shifted to this place, to the fourth place in the next sentence. So now it's not only that the line has been shifted, but if you see the punctuations, they have also undergone considerable change. That semicolon has remained as it is, colon has remained as it is, then that house, there was nothing here, house has again a colon here, rules as it is, peace as it is. So, punctuation also has been altered 2 points. The third point is, I am talking about the differences. And guarded with the phalanx of armored rules, and guarded. This phrase in the revised edition is and guarding. So the punctuation has changed, the phrase has become different, the line has been shifted. So this line which was there as an independent sentence prior to this beginning has now become a part of this sentence. Now, of course, in the new version, a royalty without freedom was her lot. The sovereign throne obeyed her ministers. No problem about that. The sovereign throne obeyed her ministers. Her servants' mind and sense governed her house. Her spirit's bounds they cast in rigid line. Now here they acquires immediate sense because of mind and sense coming prior to it. Here it's very clear now, and this is separating the by the colon. This line is separate. So therefore, this day gets specified, becomes clear in the revised edition that yes, it is referring to mind and spirit.
So why you didn't do it like this? I didn't
Well, I
understand.
mean, if you see grammatically is what it means. See, otherwise you have to see that the day is going to be explained later on.
So it's not true. You are going to show us it's not true.
No, I'm just telling you that in this passage they become now very clear because it is preceded by mind and sense. Yeah, well, this is what we are discussing. And her spirits bound, they cast in rigid lines and guarded with the phalanx. Now here we have here and guarded. Here we have and guarding. See, they cast in rigid lines and guarding with the phalanx of armored line, the reasons balance reign. In other words, this sentence now gets linked up with the other one. Grammatically, say rigid line and guarding with the phalanx of armored rules, the reasons balance reigned. In other words, it is the balance, reasons balance which is guarding and reigning. It is reasons balance. Reigning. And also keeping order and peace. Now, well, this is the factual difference between the two texts, what we have in 1950 here and what is there in the revised edition. Now, what we are told about this revision is as follows. And guarded, this one, has become and guarding. Now the question is, the explanation is, this whole passage is a dictated passage. It is not in Shivandu's handwriting. So first thing is, it is a dictated passage. And the dictation had and guarding. The dictation had and guarding. And guarding. But this and guarding was altered. See, when this and guarding was altered when the typescript was read out to Shabindu. It was typed and guarding. When the script was read out to Shabindu, then he changed and guarding to they guarded.
They got
Huh.
And guarded. He changed it.
He changed, he redictated, they guarded.
they.
Huh?
They.
They
Then-
guarded, yeah.
They.
They,
They. They. No, not they.
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 Then they was altered to and.
To end.
They
So
guarded
3 times.
and guarded.
They was altered to and. So the final dictation is and guarded.
But he could only hear, he could not see, is it?
Yeah, he did not see it. Of course, he heard only all that thing. Now, see, I can understand why they guarded this and was changed to they. Sorry, there was they were dictated there. And guarding, they guarded. Now, what would happen is they would get repeated immediately. You see, now consider this line coming here. So this they here and this they here will get repeated immediately. This they and they here, that is very bad English also, you see. So therefore he redictated for that they and. See, if this line is shifted to the fourth line in the next sentence, then this they and this they here will be very inelegant. You see, it's not.
Why did they disregard it?
Well, I'm telling you. So therefore, they altered to and no other information. Beyond that, no other details are available to us. You see. So the original text, as we have here in the 1950 edition, 51 is like this, and then I showed you just now what is there in the revised edition. See, and guarding, you see, they guarding and they here, you can imagine how clumsy it will be. Her spirit is bound, they cast in rigid line, and they guarding with, you see, it's not proper English at all, you see. So that they here was changed to and. So that is the story behind the, see, the only justification, if at all you want to give to the revised edition, the text of the revised edition is that in this line, they remains unspecified. They remain unspecified. That becomes clear when you do all these changes. But my argument is that it's not really a fault at all. He is postponing the description of what these they are. What these they are, he is postponing to the next sentence. Yes, I'm going to explain to you. Just be little patient. Here it is. These they are mind and sense. And then the whole thing follows very clearly, beautifully, you see. No, you don't have to change punctuation, nothing then, you see. So these are some of the difficulties of the revised edition of Savitri, you see.